Watching your story on the SABC News channel, well, the Minister of Social Development, Susan Shabangu, says progress has been made in changing SASSA cards after the South African Post Office has taken over the payment service to beneficiaries. The Constitutional Court gave SASSA until September this year to finalize the rollout of new cards.
The Post Office has taken over from the controversial Cash Paymaster services following a court order. Minister Shabangu visited a SASSA service point in the city of Matlotsana in Jiberton in the Northwest Province. Our reporter Bafedile Morani caught up with the minister.
Welcome to the Northwest in the city of Matlotsana in Joburton SASSA service point, where the Minister of Social Development, Minister Susan Shabangu, is visiting the area. I understand that this is the second visit. She was here earlier in April to engage our people with regard to the new SASSA cards rollout. Now, to have more clarity what basically is going to happen with regard to these new SASSA cards, we are joined by the Minister herself, Susan Shabangu. Thank you so much for joining us. Minister, can you please tell us what is the purpose of your visit today, and also that we have seen you engaging our people. What are the challenges that they are encountering?
Well, I must say that, as you correctly say, it's my second visit to Jiberton. And when I look at the people around here, I've found that people are understanding, talking to them. They understand, but also engaging them, and they ask some of the issues or the challenges they've had. But I must also say, part of also coming here is to sincerely apologize to our people for what happened last month. It was not intentional. We had technical glitches which we have dealt with, and we are happy now that we are making progress. The reason I come to Jiberton is one of our biggest constituency when it comes to beneficiaries. We want to make sure we can hear their complaints, as we've heard. Some still have the green card, the CPS green card, and they're not happy about it. And they were asking what they should do. We've explained to them. But also some because they owe CPS through the green card loans. What should they do? We've explained that, again, clarify. They've got all the right to change into the SASSA card, new SASSA Sapo card, and make sure they make arrangement with CPS on how they're going to pay back the loans. So that's why we are here. But we wanted to see whether service rendered by our staff is adequate enough. The systems are working much better. At the beginning, they were slow. I'm happy now. They're saying it takes 2 minutes to process a card. Then it means we're making progress. And it talks to our last report last night, where we have already registered about 1.8 million people out of 2.5 million cash payment. So these are the issues they wanted to know. They wanted to know whether the cash pay points which they were using, can they go back? We said they can do that, but they also can get their monies from post office, from the merchants, which will be your ShopRite and all others, in making sure that they can access their money. But they can also use the SASSA card now, the new card, even to buy, because it's a Visa. It works everywhere. And that's the reason which brings me here, to also have an interest to really make sure that our people are satisfied. I can tell with the reception I got, it's quite clear that our people are happy. But what is interesting is that there were lesser questions. So for me, it's a reflection that our message is going through. Even when we had a problem, lots of the people understood, because I'm doing the explanation for the second time now.
When we engage our people across the province here and other areas, they are not happy with changing these cards. Can you please tell them the importance of changing the cards? Because understand, by the 1st of September, the rollout should be done.
Well, let me say, our members, because CPS is involved in a misinformation campaign, they go around and deceive our people in many ways. You know, right now, I've just had an old lady who has the green card, and she says he has just been made to take a loan from CPS. And he was saying, what must he do? Because she's confused now. So we explained that she can change it and then go to CPS officers and make an arrangement on how is she going to pay their loan. And the biggest problem we have with CPS, Green Road, Net 1, is that they're not honest. They are manipulative. That is why some of our beneficiaries, we say they must report them. But we are also taking them to court on some of their behavior. As I speak now, we've taken Green Road to court because Green Road is charging our members 10 rand, and that was never agreed to. So we've taken to court so that the court can do a determination. But I must also really appeal to our people to say to them, please change the green card. We don't want them come the 1st of October. They are unable to get their money because the relationship we had with CPS will be gone. It's not us who took that decision, it's the court. What we are doing as social development and SASSA is to implement a court decision. So we're appealing to everybody. We've spoken to the churches, we've spoken to the taxi industry to help us in spreading the message, because we don't want our beneficiaries to really suffer on the basis of technicalities or because somebody told them that, no, if you don't have a green card, you're not going to get your money. In fact, it's the other way around. You don't have the yellow SASSA card or your bank card, which you're using to get your money and continue keeping the green card, that's where they're going to face challenges. So here in Joburg, I really want to appeal. Even those who can hear and know of beneficiaries, they must assist to clarify and tell them to change this card because its lifespan is coming to an end.
You've been engaging our people here, telling them the difference between using the SASSA card and the bank card. Can you explain more into that?
Well, we have to explain to the people because, as we all know, if you have a transaction or an account with any bank, banks, in terms of the law, they have bank charges, whether it's 10 rand or 5 rand for any withdrawal you do. That is why we are explaining that to say, the new SASSA SAPO card, it's free because government has taken a responsibility, but also government says we are addressing the issue of the poor, of the poorest, and therefore we must not tax them. We must make sure that they don't pay anything as they withdraw the money, and even whether they withdraw many times, there must be no charges against that. So that's the difference. The banks will continue. For instance, if you use the new SASSA SAPO card, you go and withdraw from an ATM, there will be bank charges because the bank expects you to pay administration fee. So those bank charges are there because of those arrangements. So that is why you are saying, as government, SAPO becomes our service provider of choice in making sure that your 50 rand as an old person, you can value that and utilize it to do something more constructive.
Thank you so much, Minister, for your time. That is the Minister of Social Development, Shabangu, who is visiting the city of Matlosana in Joburg in Klerksdorp.